Understanding God's timing in relationships involves recognizing and aligning with the divine schedule that governs how and when events unfold in our romantic and interpersonal connections. This concept rests on the belief that there is a higher plan at play, orchestrating the timing of relationships in a way that serves a greater purpose, beyond our immediate understanding. The significance of God's timing in relationships is profound. It encourages patience, trust, and faith, fostering a deeper spiritual connection as one navigates the uncertainties of love and companionship. One real-world application of understanding God's timing can be found in the story of a couple who met in college but went their separate ways after graduation. Years later, when they were both more mature and prepared for a committed relationship, they reconnected and built a successful marriage. Their story illustrates how trusting in divine timing can lead to fulfilling relationships that might not have been possible earlier. Another example is the experience of individuals who wait for the right person instead of rushing into relationships due to societal pressure. Many have found that by trusting the timing, they encounter partners who align more closely with their values and life goals, leading to more harmonious and meaningful partnerships. This highlights the importance of patience and faith in the divine plan, showing that waiting can sometimes be more rewarding than acting prematurely. Supporters of this concept often argue that God's timing is perfect, implying that everything happens for a reason and at the right time. This notion encourages individuals to relinquish control and surrender to a higher power, which can be both liberating and comforting in the often chaotic realm of relationships. However, challenges and alternative viewpoints exist. Critics may argue that relying too much on divine timing can lead to passivity and missed opportunities. There's also the debate between divine timing and personal agency, questioning where to draw the line between waiting for God's timing and taking proactive steps in one's relationship journey. Understanding God's timing is intricately linked to the broader theme of trusting God in relationships. It influences decisions about when to wait patiently and when to take action, ensuring the choices made are in harmony with one's faith and spiritual beliefs. By embracing this concept, individuals can navigate their relationships with greater confidence and serenity, knowing they are part of a larger divine plan. The concept of biblical foundations of trusting God's timing refers to the idea that within the teachings of the Bible, there are principles and stories that emphasize the importance of patience and trust in God's plan, especially in the context of personal relationships. This concept is grounded in the belief that God's plans are perfect and that His timing is impeccable, even if it doesn't align with our personal desires or timelines. This belief encourages individuals to rely on divine guidance instead of hastily making decisions based on their immediate emotions or circumstances. Understanding and trusting God's timing is crucial in navigating relationships because it can encourage patience and deliberate decision-making, rather than impulsive actions that might lead to negative outcomes. For instance, in the story of Abraham and Sarah, their patience in waiting for Isaac, the promised son, despite their old age, exemplifies trust in God's timing. Another example is David, who waited to become king even after being anointed, demonstrating faith and patience over years of trials and opportunities to seize the throne prematurely. Many believers support the idea of trusting God's timing, highlighting that life's unpredictability necessitates trust in a higher plan. They argue that this trust provides peace amidst uncertainty and leads to more fulfilling relationships based on faith rather than fear. However, challenges to this perspective include the difficulty of remaining patient and the temptation to act on personal desires rather than waiting for divine direction. Critics might argue that relying too heavily on spiritual timing could lead to passivity, preventing individuals from taking necessary action in their relationships. This foundational belief in trusting God's timing connects to broader aspects of relationships by fostering traits like patience, empathy, and selflessness. These traits are essential in building and maintaining healthy relationships that are not only based on immediate gratification, but on long-term trust and understanding. It also influences the decision-making process, encouraging individuals to weigh their choices carefully and consider the potential alignment with their spiritual beliefs about timing. In conclusion, the biblical foundations of trusting God's timing offer valuable insights into how patience and faith can guide individuals in making more meaningful choices in their relationships, bridging the gap between spiritual beliefs and practical living. Recognizing when to wait in relationships, especially within the context of trusting God's timing, involves discerning moments when patience and restraint are necessary. This concept centers on the belief that some aspects of relationships are best left to unfold naturally according to a divine schedule rather than our own immediate desires or impulses. It is about identifying signs or feelings that suggest the timing isn't right to move forward, such as a lack of peace, unresolved personal issues, or external circumstances that seem to impede progress. Understanding when to wait is crucial because it aligns personal decisions with a higher purpose, promoting growth, maturity, and better decision-making in relationships. Recognizing divine timing can prevent hasty decisions that might lead to heartache or regret. For example, someone might feel pressured to enter a marriage due to societal or familial expectations. However, upon introspection and prayer, they may realize that waiting allows time for personal or spiritual growth, ultimately strengthening the future relationship. Another example could be feeling unsure about rekindling an old relationship. Recognizing the timing isn't right might lead to exploring new friendships or personal interests, leading to unforeseen opportunities and relationships. Supporting this notion, many faith leaders and relationship experts advocate for patience, suggesting that waiting trusts in a process that often leads to deeper understanding and more meaningful connections. They argue that rushing can cloud judgment, while waiting allows for divine clarity. However, potential challenges exist. Some people might misinterpret waiting as inaction or fear, leading to stagnation. Others may struggle with discerning signs, feeling torn between waiting and acting, particularly when external pressures build. Moreover, there are alternative viewpoints that advocate for proactive decision-making, suggesting that waiting could lead to missed opportunities. This perspective emphasizes taking initiative rather than passively waiting for a sign, noting that opportunities often favor those who act. Such viewpoints encourage balanced wisdom, suggesting a middle ground where one is open to signs yet willing to act when alignment seems right. This point of recognizing when to wait intricately connects to other aspects of trusting God's timing. In relationships, it informs when to act, highlighting the significance of divine discernment in decision-making. By recognizing the need to wait, individuals cultivate patience, leading to actions that are more deliberate and aligned with their higher purpose. This balance ultimately fosters healthier, more fulfilling relationships grounded in faith and trust. Deciphering when to act in relationships, especially regarding trusting God's timing, involves discerning the moments when it's appropriate to move forward with faith and when to remain patient. This concept revolves around the idea that while faith often requires patience, it also involves recognizing opportunities where taking action is necessary. In the context of trusting God's timing, taking faithful steps forward signifies making decisions rooted in spiritual guidance and wisdom, reflecting trust in a divine plan, while remaining proactive about one's role in it. This point is crucial to the overarching theme of trusting God's timing, because it highlights the dynamic balance between waiting on divine timing and engaging actively in life's journey. It underscores that while waiting is vital, faith is not passive. It calls for responsiveness to God's cues, implying that action is sometimes the manifestation of faith. Consider the biblical story of Ruth, who, after being widowed, chose to follow her mother-in-law, Naomi, back to Naomi's homeland. Ruth's decision to act by gleaning in the fields was a step of faith that ultimately led her to meeting Boaz, demonstrating how timely action, inspired by faith, aligns with God's broader plan. Another example is a person praying about a difficult relationship decision, such as whether to pursue a deeper commitment or end a partnership. By seeking guidance through prayer and reflecting on scriptural teachings, they might feel compelled to take a bold step, be it moving forward or respectfully stepping back, trusting that this action is in harmony with divine timing. Supporters of this idea often argue that faith-based action is a reflection of one's commitment to living in accordance with divine will and trusting that God places opportunities and challenges in our path for a reason. However, others might argue that it can be challenging to distinguish between impatience and genuine divine prompting, leading to potential missteps if one acts too hastily. The potential challenge here is interpreting personal desire versus a genuine call to act, which can lead to confusion and anxiety. Critics might caution against acting impulsively under the guise of faith, suggesting that patience and discernment are crucial to avoid premature actions that might not align with God's plan. Overall, deciphering when to act is interconnected with the broader theme of trusting God's timing in relationships. It influences how individuals approach waiting, encouraging them to maintain an active dialogue with their faith, discerning when it's time to step forward with confidence and when it's best to wait with trust. Share, like, and subscribe for more uplifting